Hello and welcome in. Merry Christmas. It is that time of year. This is the Bitcoin Escape Hatch, a Bitcoin only education channel where the signal is information and the outcome is financial freedom. Christmas is here, and if you're like many of us in the Bitcoin community, you're feeling one of two things, a bit of a blend of feelings. Joy to spend time with your family, lots of great food, warmth. I personally love all the Christmas music wherever you go. That's just me. And on the other hand, you're probably feeling a bit of apprehension about those Bitcoin conversations that are most likely going to come up. So, uh, I thought it would be cool to put a little survival guide together or just some ideas on how to handle those conversations. Yeah, let's get into it. Before we go further, please keep this in mind. This is your family. You don't get to choose them and you don't get another one. Like Bitcoin, your family is absolutely scarce and immutable at times, maybe not for the best. So, approach every conversation with grace, kindness, and care for the relationship above all. When someone brings up Bitcoin, smile, stay calm, and respond thoughtfully. Absorb the skepticism gently and resist the urge to overwhelm with Bitcoin jargon. Because remember, most people who are still early in their Bitcoin journey, who may be Bitcoiners, even they, or even myself, I find gets overwhelmed with like really technical stuff or just when you go really deep. So imagine how a newbie might feel if you start talking about how miners use the SHA-256 hash function to repeatedly compute block data, adjusting the nonces until the output meets the network difficulty target. It's just going to go right over their head, right? Keep it general, keep it full of love. It's Christmas. It's time for connections, not conversions or orange pilling. With that, let's talk about how to handle some of the situations that might come up. As of December 2025, Bitcoin has corrected. And after a strong run earlier in October when we hit the highs, the all-time highs, it's given us the perfect setup for those familiar questions, right? Right now we're sitting at $88,000 and it's normal. This is about a 30% pullback, and it's normal. We know where it's going. Just imagine it's like a steam engine that's just cooling off for a little bit. But you know how it goes. An uncle might say, see, I told you it was a bubble. Look at it falling right before Christmas. Doesn't that feel awful? Parents might quietly pull you aside and say, hey, are you okay? I know you put some money into this. And siblings and cousins might tease, that magic internet money not looking so magical these days, is it? Just remember these words. Stay calm and respond thoughtfully, okay? These moments can feel awkward or even tense, but they don't have to be. Use your conviction in Bitcoin to keep calm, take the hits on the chin, and respond thoughtfully, and turn the conversation if you don't feel like it. Today is about turning them into opportunities to send good signals, calm confidence, patience, and genuine care for the people around you. Remember, this is your family. The goal isn't to win an argument or orange pill, right? It's to leave the dinner or the dinner table or the event or time with your family with stronger relationships. And if you're lucky, maybe one person like a cousin or an aunt might side message you, pull you aside and ask you, hey, what's going on with this Bitcoin thing? So first, the mindset, stay calm and positive. This dip is normal and it's definitely not the end. Bitcoin has always moved in cycles. Every major advance has included significant corrections along the way, right? We know that. It's part of the pattern. Whether you think the 4-year cycle is dead or not, Bitcoin still goes up and it still goes down. The fundamentals have never changed. What we're seeing right now is simply part of the pattern. A healthy pause after some strong gains. The key is perspective. Short-term volatility is loud. Everybody seems to hear it. But the long-term direction has been consistently upward, driven by Bitcoin's unique scarcity and growing in real-world adoption, right? That's the thing that people don't seem to catch, right? Is the compound annual growth rate over the last 5 years is 35%. The S&P 500 is only 13%, but people don't like to see that, right? It's hard to calculate that, or just it's easy to knock Bitcoin when it's down, right? So a simple response to that would be a steady one. Yes, it's down from recent highs, but that's just Bitcoin doing what it does. The volatility doesn't really bother me. These corrections are normal, and they've always been followed by new strength. For me, it's about the long game, right? If you're talking about an investment or growing your wealth, you're not holding for days or months, you're holding for years. The peace of mind that comes with holding something truly finite is invaluable, right? Deliver it with warm confidence, not defensiveness, just quiet assurance. Secondly, Graceful ways to address the usual concerns. If someone says it's crashing and you've lost money, right? Short-term price is lower, but I haven't sold. So nothing is lost yet. Bitcoin goes through these phases regularly, right? We're all mostly comfortably still ahead over time, right? Over the long period. And moments like this is when the patient people feel grateful for owning an asset that no one can inflate. And I don't think I know a Bitcoin maxi that doesn't stack during the dips, right? DCA, buy those dips. If they call it too risky, compared to traditional investments, everything has risk. If you take your money and put it into investment, there's risk, no matter what. Markets go down across the board at all times. What draws me to Bitcoin, what you could say, is its independence from correlated systems. Bitcoin moves in correlation with some things, but not all things, right? Most of the stock market all move together. And its role as a hedge against currency debasement over time. And if you're feeling so inclined, you can just say, hey, in a calm voice, say, did you know they've created over 40% of all the dollars that have ever existed in the last 5 years? Think about what that does to somebody's retirement, right? It's pretty scary, but we don't want to go there. We want to keep it positive and keep it happy. Connect with your family if you can. If they say it has no real value, you just say its value comes from absolute scarcity and genuine utility, secure borderless transfers, and a store value for people in difficult economies. People in the West love to hate on Bitcoin as having no utility or no real value because they're able to open bank accounts from their couch and they don't think about the people in other countries where it's a literal lifeline, where people are selling their furniture to buy cold storage wallets. They can store their value because they're experiencing triple digit inflations within a day or even a week, right? There's real world things happening that people in the West like us don't get to experience because of our privilege, right? Check that financial privilege, but don't say that. We don't offend anybody, right? Stay calm, use your conviction to just keep it chill. Love your family. So a 0 bar to entry for anyone in the world with an internet connection. And that personally for me, this is not for this video or for you to say, I love that. I love that anybody gets a chance to participate in the network. I absolutely love that. Increasingly, institutions, companies, and even governments see it the same way. Now, I think one of the most popular ones for people to bring up for people who aren't in Bitcoin or haven't studied it is the environment, right? And I just did a mining video last week, and it was awesome because there's lots of amazing information in there. Much of the mining now uses renewable or stranded energy and is far more efficient than any traditional systems. The network is incentivizing cleaner energy developments worldwide. And again, if you feel inclined to mention, you can say this, maybe not at the dinner table, but maybe in this on the side. Don't bludgeon people with Bitcoin jargon over the head while they're trying to enjoy their turkey. Okay, recent reports from the Cambridge Bitcoin Electricity Consumption Index show that 54 to 58% of Bitcoin mining is renewable or use stranded energy. Some analysis, like the Bitcoin Mining Council, claim that the network is 50 to 60% of renewable and stranded energy, right? Think about Bhutan is the most amazing example, right? They used excess hydro during monsoon seasons that would flood countrysides, plugged in Bitcoin miners, and over the years they mined almost 13,000 Bitcoin. I mean, it's amazing. I covered more about that in the mining video. All right. Let's continue. If they worry about bans or going to zero, that concern has been around for years. Yet Bitcoin has only grown more resilient and just decentralized. China has now tried to ban Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining 20 times. Interestingly, more governments and institutions are now allocating to it rather than fighting it. Third, when the moment feels right, gently share what still excites you. Talk about the bigger picture, how fixed supply protects against the quiet erosion of purchasing power. We've all lived through, right? If you were alive in the last 5 years, you lived through a 40% debasement. That's just the facts, right? How self-custody gives true ownership in a world where that's increasingly rare. How it's already empowering people facing severe inflation today. How sophisticated investors, companies, and nations continue to accumulate during corrections. For me personally, Bitcoin isn't about getting rich quickly, and I know they're probably going to laugh at that, right? We're all here for the number go up, but we stay for the culture. It's about financial sovereignty and not having to trust distant institutions in the future. And you ever see those crazy videos of people holding up banks because they can't get their money out because the bank's out of money due to rehypothecation or fractional reserve banking? That's scary stuff, and it could happen anywhere, and it's happened in many other places. Again, I'm not saying blurt this out at the Christmas dinner table, but these things do happen, right? If someone shows genuine interest and score, this is what you say. If you're ever curious, start small. It can be eye opening and life changing. No pressure at all. If you ever remember the first time you sent your Bitcoin to a cold storage wallet, that feeling is just not that it's undescribable, but it's very unique, right? And if you've done it yourself, it's a good feeling. Once you need to feel that nervousness of where is it, and then once it lands, you feel the awesome feeling of financial sovereignty, and I love it. Fourth, like I've been saying the whole video, know when to let it go. Not everyone is ready, and that's okay. If attention fades or tension rises, pivot with warmth. Hey, those are fair thoughts. Let's come back to this another time. Pass the gravy, please. Or simply, I'd love to continue this later. Tell me how your year has been, right? We're here to connect with family, not bash them over the head with Bitcoin information. The real victory is representing Bitcoin well. Steady, kind, and unflustered, especially during these corrections. The calm presence during uncertainty sends the strongest signal of all. I love that. You'll plant seeds that may grow quietly, slowly, often sprouting months or years later when the next wave of adoption or price discovery arrives, right? You know, when the price runs, that's when everybody wants to jump on the ship. It's just the way we work. Humans are weird. So, a simple holiday guide. Just to recap, stay humble. Volatility is real. Don't deny it. And none of us can time it perfectly. Keep the long view, years, not days or months. Let your composure speak louder than words. For the truly curious, offer gentle next steps. A good book, and we all know this one, The Bitcoin Standard, is a great start. A basic self-custody advice, BTC sessions, an amazing resource. And, you know, just tell them, feel free to reach out anytime. I have a few group chats with some people, and every day they see some new information, they send it to me, and don't respond with just like, have fun staying poor or whatever. Just educate them with what you've learned about Bitcoin, right? That's what it's all about. Lastly, Christmas is about presents, gratitude, and the people around the table, not the debates. I'm hoping that the debates at the Christmas table this year go political and not about Bitcoin. Just stay silent and have fun. Enjoy that time. For me personally, I don't always get to spend Christmas with my direct family because my parents are expats, and that's just the way it is. So for those of you who get to sit around a giant Christmas dinner table with, I don't know, multiple people, you're lucky. You just don't know it. When Bitcoin comes up, acknowledge the dip honestly, frame it as part of the journey, and share the deeper why with care and restraint. You preserve the joy of the season, strengthen the bonds that matter the most, and quietly reflect the strength of what we believe in, right? The corrections are always temporary. The fundamentals have not changed. The only thing about Bitcoin that has changed is the price. And yeah, we're still at 88,000. Scarcity, decentralization, and irreversible adoption only grow stronger. Stay sovereign, friends. Enjoy your holiday season with your family. Eat tons of food. Keep lifting weights. And remember, if you're going to buy Bitcoin, send it to cold storage. That's my only advice, my one and only advice, and the only advice about Bitcoin that matters more than anything. Run your own node. Hold through the noise. Cherish your loved ones. Merry Christmas. Enjoy this time with your family. I hope you get lots of presents. Peace out.